Hey Gold Digger, Kimberly Olson here. Guess what I have for you today? We've had so many people asking us about automation. Like, what do I use in my business to run this company? Or if somebody's newer, starting out and they have a full-time job or caring for an elderly parent, and they're just really struggling to fit it all in. Automation is key. This is where you learn how to work smarter and not harder. Start to scale your business and get bigger results with less effort. So what I'm going to do is pull from the archives a boot camp that I did, and you're going to get a peek inside the first session for this training so we can get you started with automation domination. Hello, everyone. Kimberly Olson here, also known as the Gold Digger Girl, coming in to talk to you about automation domination. So if you're somebody who is ready to finally get a grip on your business, you're sick of the overwhelm, you want to stop struggling, but most importantly, you want to build a business and a life that you love, that you actually wake up looking forward to, that you enjoy, then you are absolutely in the right place. So super honored to be here with you guys today. So we're going to talk about automation domination. We're going to talk about how to put simple systems in place, look at how your business is going now, how you're running your day. We're really going to focus on time management and productivity. And what I will tell you is this is often an area that entrepreneurs shy away from. When you saw the title of this, the fact that you're here watching this or on replay, it says a lot, okay? So kudos to you for embracing this and saying, you know what? I do want to dominate my automation. I do want to organize my business. I do want to get a grip. So kudos to you. That lights me up. I'm so glad that you're here. The first thing we're going to do, each of you, I'll give you a second to think about it, but you're going to put it in the comments. This is going to be really interactive these next 2 days. What I want you to do is I want you to give yourself a new title. So right now, some of you have self-identified yourself as a hot mess express. Has anyone said that? Or people say, how are you doing? You're like, oh my gosh, I'm all over the place. I'm so busy. Have any of you said that? There's just not enough time in the day. Okay, all of that is creating more of that. Let's flip that. And I want you to give yourself a title. So it might be, I am a time management queen. I am the conqueror of chaos. I am a boss. I'm a boss lady. I'm a wealth warrior. Okay, it might even be something you call yourself with your brand. Okay. I heard this today, actually, in the training I was listening to before I went live with you guys. And he was talking to a teacher and she was having a hard time. And he said, let's give you a title. You know, why did you get into this? And guess what she said? She wanted to get into teaching to be a developer of the human spirit. I was like, I started crying, just tears of like connection of like, yes, instead of going from stressed out teacher, feels like a babysitter and parents aren't involved to, I'm a developer of the human spirit. Powerful. Let's give some power to the words you're using to describe yourself. So put it in the comments. I love yours, Jessica. Efficient business owner. You actually are very efficient and she's the queen of systems. And a chaos crusher. Okay, Jolene's an organized queen. Yeah, I love that. Developer of the human spirit. Like, I want to be a developer of the human spirit. I want to reignite your human spirit because you have that fire in you. I know you do. And some of you have lost your way. And again, that's why I'm so glad that you guys are here. And so distraction queen, Lisa, maybe think about how you can say it where you're not distracted. Okay. So queen of focus. Yeah. Small business cheerleader. Yeah. Doesn't that feel different when you give yourself a title that's fun, like Boss Lady Mary? So what I want you to do is when you sit down at your desk, okay, this is the desk of Boss Lady Mary. Look yourself in the mirror, look in the mirror and say, I am Boss Lady Mary. Michelle is the Lady Wealth Warrior. Kaz is Queen of Questions. Linda is the Success Doctor. Can you not feel that? I have chills. I can feel that. All right. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to take a look at the guide. Now, if you don't have the guide printed off, that is totally fine. You do not need the guide printed off. What you do need is pen and paper. Okay. So I want you to grab out some pen and paper right now. And what we're going to do for our time together is for session 1, we're going to work on streamlining your success, building an efficient foundation. So we're going to start with assessing your current systems and just kind of see what's working, what isn't. Then what we'll do is we'll go to a little bit after the top of the hour and we'll go into a short break, a really quick 10-minute break so you can run to the bathroom kind of thing. Then we'll go into session 2. So we'll start mastering the mechanics. Tomorrow is going to be heavy on time management, peak productivity, your schedule, your workflow. Today is going to be more about assessing and then starting to get some systems in place. Okay. And we have a whole plan for you to take what we're going to teach you, come up with your action steps for it, and to be able to implement. So we're not going to throw a bunch of ideas at you and leave you to figure it out. We're going to walk you through everything. Okay. All right. So first off, I want you to get out pen and paper, or if you printed off your workbook, you'll see this on page, I think the 6th page here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to assess your current systems for efficiency. So if you've not done our interactive trainings before, what I like to have you guys do is write it down and then share in the chat what you came up with. It's helpful for others to see what others are putting down, but also it's a source, it's a form of accountability to get you to share it in the chat. And it helps me know what you came up with, okay? So answer the following 5 questions to assess where you stand with your automation strategies. First question, how many routine tasks in your business are currently automated? And how much time do these automations save you on a daily or weekly basis? So let's take a minute to think about routine tasks in your business right now. And you might not have any. So you might say, Kimberly, I'm now the queen of chaos and I can conquer it. But before today's session, I was the hot mess express and you have no systems in place. You got nothing. That's okay. Just put, I don't have any. If you do though, let's say you're using a lot of you participated in our social connector webinar last week. A lot of you are using social connector. So I'll talk about different tools today. We've partnered with Jeremy Nix to basically customize a social connector, which is like an all-in-one with Goal Digger. It's Goal Digger-fied basically. And one of the tools in there is something that you can automate sending birthday messages. So, on Facebook where it'll tell you 10 people have birthdays today, instead of you messaging all those people, which I did. I physically messaged people every single day for like 2 years. Okay. You can automate that. So let's say that you are using a tool like that and you're like, that would probably take me a good 20 minutes a day to manually birthday message, 15 people. So you would write that down. I use a tool to send happy birthday messages and it saves me 20 minutes a day. Okay. That's the example for that one. I want you to put that down. So Alexis, one task saves about 2 hours weekly. Scheduling posts daily is a great example. Okay. So are you scheduling posts? Another thing that you might not think about is you might have something set up where if people get a lead magnet from you, they get the lead magnet automatically, and they also get some emails from you. You're not sending those out. Who here has ever manually sent out emails before, way back in the day? Yeah, me. And that saves a lot of time. So you could say on a weekly basis, maybe 5 of that is, 5 lead magnets are being downloaded. That's all automatically happening. That might save you 20 minutes a week. So you really want to, be creative with this so you can acknowledge you do have some systems in place. Okay. That's good. Michelle's got 5 different systems in place and she's been around the block. She's not a brand new entrepreneur. So, that's something to look forward to, you guys, is that she can save 5 to 7 hours. She's basically duplicated herself by the automation she has in place. Yeah. Okay. Yes. SynShare absolutely counts, Vanessa. Count all of it. We're going to be liberal with this. Yeah. Count all of it. Okay. Suzanne's going, nothing's automated yet. Well, it's only upward here for you, Suzanne. You can only go up. You're only going to improve. You're going to save time. How awesome is that? Did you guys know if you can save, is it 30 minutes a day? I feel like we could chat GPT this. Hold on. Saving 30 minutes a day. Yeah. How many of you have a project you want to do, but you just haven't gotten to it? Like writing a book or creating a course? Tell me in the comments. Let's see if this thing's even going to work here. I mean, this is not a difficult question here. Okay. It's either, I can't remember if it's 11 days or 22 days. Maybe somebody can do the math on it. But 30 minutes a day can save you at least 11. It's either 11 or 22 days, whatever. So I want you to think about that. If you could write that book, create that course, all you have to do is find 30 minutes a day that you could automate, and you're going to have the time to create the course, to write the book, to go on the trip, to take the time off. Is devotional and journal, Melissa? I would love for you to do that. Yes. Yes. And Kendra, now let's acknowledge yourself. The tendency is to say, I have so much to do. There's nothing in place. You do use ChatGPT though. You're already implementing automation. You're already doing it, which is fantastic. Okay. All right, cool. Next question. Do you have a comprehensive system in place for automating your lead generation, including capturing, nurturing, and following up with the leads? So this system would be something such as ManyChat, which I showed you guys the other day. There's also something similar. I'm going to keep saying Social Connector because I know a lot of you are using Social Connector, or a lot of you are like, okay, is there something that just kind of does it all? So I'm going to give you some common tools that you've all heard of, such as ManyChat. If I say Social Connector, it just means it's something similar is in there. ManyChat, what is that? Well, when people comment on your reel, you can set it up to automatically capture the lead, message the lead, and even follow up with the lead. That's pretty awesome, right? Or with email marketing, if somebody downloads a free resource from you, you can capture their name and email. Now they're on your list. You can even set it up where it follows up with those people without you doing anything. And another one is text messaging, right? Text messaging. If you've not used that, it's awesome. When I was actively building a network marketing, we lived by Project Broadcast. We used it for everything. And it was awesome because it was a way to stay in touch with my leads and eventually close those sales. We all know that the fortune is in the follow-up, but most people don't follow up, right? So do you have a comprehensive system for automating lead gen, which means capturing the leads, nurturing the leads, and following up with the leads? And then ask yourself, how reliable is it in maintaining consistent communication? So write down your current process for that if you have it, or just put no like Stacy did. Maybe you don't have a plan in place. Yes, Social Connector is built on Go High Level. So if you have Go High Level, it's the same idea. Yeah. Social Connector has a bunch of automation tools too. But yes, the Go High Level does have the ability to mimic ManyChat. Okay, so Gail is saying, all right, I don't have anything on that lead gen. I need to learn how to use that. Great. Okay. So it sounds like a lot of you are in a similar boat here where you don't have it, but you need it. Yeah, not a comprehensive system. Okay, Linda's using Go High Level. Okay, so most of you are saying no. All right, well, we'll work on that one then for sure. All right, next question of our 5. Are you regularly reviewing and optimizing your automated processes to improve efficiency? And do you have a method for identifying areas where automation can further enhance your business? So what I mean by this, is this something that you are aware of? Like, is this something where you're noticing when you have systems in place where you want to improve? Maybe you see a new tool. You're like, ooh, I'd like to implement that. Some of you do have some stuff in place. It's on your radar. You're looking for new things to implement in your business to make things efficient. Some of you, your brain doesn't naturally work this way. So you aren't doing it. And I suspect some of you that has said no a lot, you probably don't have that. Okay. So if you are not regularly reviewing and optimizing your automated systems, you can just put no. But if you're somebody who's like, no, that is part of what I do. I'm always looking for new ways to work smarter, not harder. I want to save time. I want to be more efficient. Okay. I heard this from Brendan Burchard, and he said, we're only as good as our processes, meaning if we don't have processes in place, we're really going to struggle. And I know it's just not fun stuff, right? To think about processes. But if I could tell you, when you closed your eyes and you thought about this holiday season, you thought about how your life could be and just how it could feel, and the keys to unlocking that came from good systems and processes, it should shift your relationship with that. So I'm going to challenge you to think differently. The next question is, do you use automation to manage your content scheduling and social media posting, ensuring that your content is consistently delivered at the optimal times for engagement? So yes, some people say you shouldn't schedule your content. This is the thing. I have too many entrepreneurs that I come across that are inconsistent with their social media, that they're relying on themselves to post it. So I'm going to lean towards, I would rather you plan it and schedule it and it happens. And if you want to make a little note for yourself when that's going to drop so you can go and engage, cool. I would rather you schedule it than not, especially if you're on multiple platforms. So for us, we post on my personal profile on Facebook, which I manually post there, obviously. Sometimes it's let me schedule and sometimes it doesn't let me schedule. Our business page on Facebook, 2 Facebook groups. Then we have 3 Instagram accounts. LinkedIn, I feel like we post on LinkedIn, maybe, Abby? I feel like we do. Rihanna would know too. She helps with that. And then we've done away with some other platforms such as TikTok. We really narrowed down to what works best for us in our company. That's a lot of places. If I was sitting here trying to go around posting all over the place, I mean, that's all I would be doing is being on my phone. You guys, I have an app on here and it tells me how much I'm on my phone. It's hardly at all. Okay. I'm hardly whatever platforms. I'm never scrolling and hanging out on these apps. Okay. I get in, do my work, and I get out. We talked about this in our coaching call yesterday for Six Figure Breakthrough Business Academy. You are either consuming content or you're the one creating the content. What side of the coin are you on? And what do you want to be on? Okay. I create content. I rarely consume content. The only time I consume content is when I'm researching. Okay. So ask yourself that. Do you have do you have automation in place? The final question for this section is, do you have a backup plan in place for when automated systems fail or require maintenance? And how quickly can you transition to manual processes or alternate solutions if necessary? So right now in this moment, this is not a huge deal, but I just want you to be thinking about having a backup system. So if you do have a process in place where something's being handled manually, what would you do if that tool stopped working? Because what happens is people don't have a backup plan. The tool stops working. The integration stops working. Something breaks because automation can break. And then the person's like, and they just panic and shut down, right? We don't want that. We want to have a backup plan. So if your birthday message tool stopped working, you would know what to send them. You would know how to find those people in your Facebook account. And then you could just pick up where you left off. Okay. So you want to have a backup system. All right. So let's talk about harnessing the power of automation for growth. Automation is like having a magical assistant that can significantly transform your productivity and time management. So what you want to be thinking about is this. A lot of you are thinking that, I'm going to stop sharing this for a second. A lot of you are going to be thinking to yourselves, well, Kimberly, you don't understand. I'm so busy. I don't have time to slow down, to get a birthday message thing, set up the thing and learn how to do it. You guys, 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day. If you can save 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, that's an hour just during the work week, hour and a half potentially, that you just freed up with one little task. Okay. I want you to think about 2 tasks or 3 tasks or 4 tasks. Now, this is how you start freeing up hours and hours. And when we work on tomorrow, we're going to work on grouping what you're doing so you can understand how to time block basically and group things together and change your schedule a bit. You're going to free up even more time because the truth is most people aren't efficient. Okay. They're just not efficient with what they're doing. And what happens is because you don't have automation in place, then you're all over the place. Okay. Put me in the comments if you feel like you sit down and you are ready to get to work and you sit there and stare at the computer or you stare at your phone and you're just sitting there going, I literally don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing right now, right? You are scrambling. It takes you 30 minutes to do one post. Okay. Put me in the comments if that's you. And I totally understand. And there's a better way. Okay. Hey, Goal Digger, real quick. I wanted to interrupt this training for something really special. We have newsletter only exclusive resources. And the way to get these is just opt into our newsletter. We're going to send you an email periodically with freebies, training recaps, quick actionable steps that you can implement today. So look below this episode to grab it and we'll see you there. So I talked a little bit about a shift in perspective. So that's what we're going to focus on now. Is cultivating a system-driven mindset. When it comes to a system-driven mindset, what you want to be thinking about is you want to shift your perspective to say, how can I have it all? How can I have it all? I know people that have it all. How do they have a thriving career? The self-care is in place. They're healthy. They take care of their kids. They still, go on dates with their husband. Like how, right? How are the, and it's almost annoying. We sent the email out about like, you see your friend on Instagram and she's like, oh yeah, everything's all great. My kids match. And, I brushed their hair today. And you're just like, what? Like you haven't washed your hair in like 2 weeks. It doesn't have to be that way. It's a choice. It's absolutely a choice. But I know you need a solid roadmap to get there, obviously, right? And this is what you want to think about. This, I'm going to see if I can highlight this for you guys. Isn't that funny how it showed up? That's okay. I believe it's 80% mindset and 20% having the tools and skill sets needed to be highly productive. Write that down. It's 80% mindset, or underline that. It is your mindset. My mindset says, I can conquer my day. I crush my day. I run my day. I own my day. I own my time. I own my schedule. I choose what I say yes to. I don't let other people tell me what I'm going to do. Ask anybody that works with me. Like, it's just not in my DNA, but it came down to me cultivating that kind of mindset. So if you're a people pleaser, if you have a hard time setting boundaries, you don't know how to say no, you're putting yourself last. I'm telling you, especially if you have kids and things like that, or other women in your life, you need to be the leader. You need to raise the bar. You need to raise the standard, and you need to set the expectations that you are number one. Why? Because when we take care of ourselves, we are pouring from a full cup. Okay. Your kids, your spouse, people you work with, they get your overflow. Okay. Are you pouring from an empty cup, or are you pouring from a very lush, amazing cup? Okay. There's a big difference there, right? So it takes real consistent and disciplined work to develop a solid mindset. This is what I want you to work on. A mindset where you see yourself as strong, a mindset where you see yourself as capable, a mindset where you see yourself as a warrior and you see yourself as unstoppable. That is the mindset work, because if you don't have the mindset work and you're like, oh, well, I'm really good with tech, who cares? There's lots of people here who are good with tech, and they will tell you it's not enough. Okay. It's not enough to be good at tech stuff and be able to, create a cool sequence flow in, some tool and make all these things happen when people do things. You got to have the mindset. Okay. You've got to have a system driven mindset. So here are 5 questions designed to encourage you to explore and overcome any mental barriers you might have about relying on automation in your business. Okay. What specific concerns do you have about automating certain tasks in your business? And how could you address these concerns? How could addressing these concerns free up your time for higher value activity? Write that down for me in the comments. Write it down. What specific concerns do you have about automating certain tasks? Okay. So for you, it might be the learning curve. You don't know how to do it. That's the biggest one I hear. Or there's so many different tools out there. You're overwhelmed by all the choices. Put that in the comments when you have it. I'm going to see what you guys say on here. The learning curve, the time to learn. That's another good one. Yep. The time to learn. Absolutely. These are real concerns. And how could you address these concerns? Could you commit and give yourself, it could be a 14-day challenge or something. It doesn't have to be forever. Could you commit to setting aside 15 minutes a day to learn a new skill, to implement something new? Absolutely. Okay. The next question is, are there any tasks you currently handle manually that consistently drain your energy or time? Put a star by this one. This is so important. When you know what God wants you to be doing and when you're in your zone of genius, when time just goes by, you could do it all day long and you can learn how to spend your time there. That is when life becomes fun. Things are magical, and you're literally in alignment with how God created you. So for me, I know that God wants me to create content. He wants me to coach, and he wants me to cast the vision for people. That's it. The 3 C's. I always ask myself, am I doing that? Am I doing it? And I'll catch myself doing something, and I'll go to my team and be like, hey, can someone help me with this? Because I know I could do it, but that doesn't bring me joy. It doesn't give me the energy to go out and make a difference in this world. Okay. I want to change the world. I want, when I leave this world one day, I want people to go, man, that Kimberly Olson, she impacted me. She made a difference in my life. And I know I've made a difference in some of your guys' life. That couldn't have happened if I wouldn't have got out of my own way and figured out what brings me joy, what fills up my energy. How might automating these tasks relieve stress and improve your work-life balance? Oh boy. Some of you detest making reels. You're just like, oh my gosh, when she says the word reel, I just cringe. Okay. And you find yourself sitting there trying to make that reel for 3 hours and you hate every second of it. Now, there's always a time where you're learning something and it's brutal. I'm not saying don't, muscle your way through that. There's some growth that has to happen, right? You're being molded. You're developing a new skill. Developing new skills is not necessarily easy, but you detest it. You loathe it. It's just like, ugh. Then that is causing stress. You're spending hours on your phone trying to make a reel. Do you think that's negatively impacting your work-life balance? Yes. So you need to either get some training on how to make reels and make them quicker and enjoy it, or you need to delegate that. Okay. Because when you free up the time to focus on talking to people, connecting with people in Messenger, maybe coming up with a new program, going live, you're spending time on the things that bring you joy. You're going to bring in the money and the income you need to pay the virtual assistant or the person who's helping you out. What are your fears or hesitations about losing control when automating processes? And how can you set up checks and balances to maintain oversight while still benefiting from automation? Some of you have a fear of releasing control to somebody else. This is why I see solopreneurs stay on as solopreneurs for way too long. They're doing everything. They're so stressed out. They're like, Kimberly, you don't understand. I have 50 million things I'm doing for my business every day. And I just look at them and I think, why are you doing that? You could hire somebody and have them help you out, especially if you have the financial resources to do it. It's often because you don't want to let go of control and you're afraid that they can't do it as good as you. What is more important to you, your mental health and having time for the things that you love and enjoy and being present with your family, or something being done perfectly? Okay. So that one might be something you need to sit with for a little bit, but it's very common. How might embracing automation open up new opportunities for creativity and growth in your business that manual processes are currently limiting? Ooh. So if you weren't doing some of these manual processes, could you open up new opportunities to create that course, create that lead magnet, write that ebook you've been wanting to write, create that cookbook, create the videos for the course you want to get out there, right? Get the book done, the podcast. I know a bunch of you want to make podcasts, create podcast YouTube channels, right? Think about a past situation where automating a task or process could have prevented errors or improved efficiency. How does this realization influence your perspective on adopting automation? All right, that's a wrap, Goal Digger. So as you can see, it's not hard. It's not difficult. This is absolutely something that you can learn and that you can implement. Look below this video for additional resources. If this was helpful, make sure you subscribe and browse the channel, binge the playlist. We have topics on sales, marketing, social media, mindset, and all the things. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, get lit in your business and set your soul on fire.